Namo Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech, the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I'm determined to speak truthfully, with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I'm determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. For our Dharma lessons, we're reading Ajahn Thiradhammo's book called Working with the Five Hindrances. This morning we're beginning chapter 1 on supportive conditions. Some very important groundwork can give us precious support for working skillfully with the various hindrances. Many people simply throw themselves into meditation, usually hoping for a quick fix, with little preparation, only slight knowledge of the context or consequence, and lack of awareness of the possible dangers. Firstly, meditation should not be undertaken by anyone with any psychological imbalance. Concentration exercises can focus and empower the mind. They can also empower mental disturbances. Also, while the tranquility and peacefulness of mind generated by meditation can be very soothing and healing, they can also allow unconscious material to rise into the consciousness. But there are various activities, practices, attitudes, and knowledge which are extremely useful for providing supportive conditions in which the spiritual exercises can bear the most beneficial fruit. The three bases of skillful action, the foundation of Buddhist practice, are generosity, morality, and meditation. Though they are different, they all work together in order to round out our spiritual practice so that it penetrates all areas of selfhood. Traditionally, generosity has been the main practice for most Buddhist lay people. They come to the monastery and go to great lengths to make offerings. Some may stay to undertake the precepts, but most go home before the meditation begins. They have created a supportive and conducive environment for mental development, but then leave out the final step. Although these three ways of skillful practice should really all be integrated together. Generosity. Generosity is the primary foundation of Buddhist practice. Outwardly, people give things, they make offerings, but this act is ultimately based on the giving up of the self, about letting go of self-identity. It starts off practically, as making gestures by giving things we would normally think that belong to us. My food, my possessions, or my money. However, behind this is the attitude of giving up ourselves in little ways. This helps to create a generosity of heart, an openness, a releasing of the hurt, an undoing of self-identity. Through generosity, we learn how to let go. This is an especially essential practice in the present time, when so much emphasis is on getting, gaining, attaining, possessing, all revolving around the self. Generous people are less preoccupied with themselves and are thus more empathic and receptive to other people's needs. They tend to be more friendly and hospitable, as well as more confident, easygoing, and relaxed. Some of these qualities the Buddha recognized as benefits of generosity, and they are all very supportive of spiritual practice. Generosity is an especially important attitude when dealing with the hindrances. You have to give up a certain amount of pride to even acknowledge that you have them. It's pretty humbling to acknowledge your desire, ill will, lethargy, remorse, and perplexity. But if you have generosity of heart, it allows you to open to these aspects of self. They are those unattractive aspects of our being, which pride and conceit, holding on to a wonderful self-image, refuse to accept. No, I'm not like that. This is not how I am. Usually we like to hold on to our wonderful self, but with well-practiced generosity, we can let go of these rigid views of the self and maybe acknowledge our not-so-wonderful self as well. It takes a good grounding in this practice of generosity to be able to access the hindrances and to be able to relinquish, release, and let them go as well. Some people take up meditation and lapse into sleepiness. Someone may mention they're nodding to them, but they deny it. Me? Nod? Are you kidding? Me have a hindrance? I'm a meditator. You can say, I saw you, but they answer, no, not me. They just don't have the generosity of heart to open to their limitations. These hindrances are an intimate part of ourselves, expressions of some of the more unpleasant aspects of ourselves. But that's how our self expresses itself. It has an investment in keeping our self-identity that way and preserving itself. Thus, having more grounding in generosity can provide more openness of heart and allow us to access these less wonderful and more hidden aspects of ourselves. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me today.